Okay, let's talk about transmutes. Mod 21 hits console next week. A lot of people have a lot of questions, and there's not a lot of resources out there, especially the Wikipedia. It is so far outdated and doesn't even list enough information for it to be worth it that hopefully this can help some people out. So, this is my transmog guide for pre-mod 21. First things first is quest gear, so there's gonna be a lot of character switching because I have stuff all over the place. I had way too much stuff. That's how much stuff there is to cover, just on transmutes alone. So let's talk about that. Okay. So first up, we're gonna talk about quest gear. As you know, every zone has 3 layer quests that are like pivotal to the campaign, or not really the campaign, but the adventure zone. And generally, right now, for you console players, these quests drop items. They drop gear. This gear is being removed from those quests. So all this quest gear, you won't be able to get anymore. A lot of it is actually pretty unique transmutes. The Flickr site is the only one that has like a symmetrical part on this. Like, it's a small detail, but it's there. The Boots of Striding, is that a unique one? I can't remember. I think the Cloak of Plague Tower, yeah, that's a unique one. The Cloak of the Plague Tower. Some of these are unique. I'm not going to say all of them are, but some are. So some you may want to, hold on to. But yeah, so take note of that. I don't know why this is here. That's not supposed to be here, but whatever. Quest gear. It's different for every class. This is only for Rogue, but could be worth taking a look at. But they are bound to characters, so if you're farming them, you're not going to be able to put them on your main. Well, actually, I take that back. You can put them on your main. If you get the quest on an alt, share it with a friend, and have your friend share it back to your main, and your main will be able to collect all this gear. So, yeah. Remember, the quest is shareable, and you can do it as many times as you want, which we're going to get into later why that would be beneficial. But in this case, all you need to do is technically do these quests once, but don't hand them in. Don't hand them in. I'm going to say that right now. Don't hand them in. I'll explain why later. Next is bounty gear. This is the treasure caches. These treasure caches you buy with these awesome little bounty items. These don't drop anymore in Mod 21. The NPC that you could trade them at, those NPCs, all of them are gone. So you can't get these treasure caches anymore. And on top of it, open these before Mod 21 because now they drop entirely different items, which makes no sense to me, but they do. So you won't be able to get the old transmutes from them anymore. It's just like newer gear that players can actually use to make their character stronger. I'm not going to open them here, but I do have extras on my rogue, so I can show you. Hold on. Well, I mean, I have a lot of rogues, but on my main rogue. So, yeah, I kind of learned the hard way. They were locked at first, so you couldn't open them at all at first, funny enough. But now if you open them, it's just... Oh. Interesting. Damn it! Maybe they do drop some old transmutes. I don't know. Okay, I take that back. I take that back. This is unbound. This is a rare transmute. I take my comment back. They might still drop things. Do they drop the exact same things? I don't know. Point is, you can't get these treasure caches anymore in the new module. So, still stack them up. Okay, I'm just throwing that out there. I'm so confused. And this is like the 6th time I've done a video because of surprises like this, but I am done going back. Let's move on. So we have the bounty gear. What gear can you get from the bounty gear? If we go back to 2.0, I have a full list actually there of all that stuff. So, okay, yeah, so this all is Tower District items. So all the items on the left come from the treasure caches directly, and all the items on the right come from quests related to those maps. So this is the Tower District row. Then this is Black Dagger Ruins. I so hope I have this right. Helm's Hold, Velosk. Actually, I should probably do this slower. So all of these, I'm just going to go through them quickly. At the end, I'll do a showcase of all the transmutes, but I won't now since I figure most people just want to know how to get them. So all of this is Tower District. This is Helm's Hold. The rings don't have appearances, but I kept them for collections. Then we have, no, that's Black Dagger Ruins. This is Helm's Hold. This is hard going slower, but this is all Helm's Hold. Then we have Velosk, obviously a lot of the woof woof, doggy woof stuff. We have the Icespire Peak, so, you know, wintry stuff, I guess. Belt of Skulls, I don't know why this comes from, whatchamacallit, Icespire Peak, and not, what's it called? What's, actually, hold on. Does it? Belt of Skulls, actually, I think, comes from Pirate Skyhold. I think I have that out of order there, my bad. So this is Pirate Skyhold, obviously, because of all the Lizardfolk and Scale Fathers stuff. So lots of, you know, Pirate Skyhold stuff. Then we have the Chasm. So Chasm stuff actually is one of my favorites. It looks really, really cool. Then we have Mount Hotanau or Hotanau, however you like to pronounce it. I'm not sure how it's supposed to be pronounced, but that's all that. Then we have Roth Valley. Roth Valley is a little confusing because, as you see, there are very few items, but if we go up to my rogue for a sec, there are other items that cache actually drops, but for some reason, those items bind to character, so I could not move them onto that character or showcase, so now they're forever taking up bank space on my rogue, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. So we have the Circlet of Webs, Spider Armor, Drow, and the stuff, which I can just show you quick what they look like because probably not going to come back to these later. So yeah, the headpiece is Cleric, the armor is Fighter, Barbarian, Paladin. Actually, I think this is Warlock, Cleric, and Wizard. And the armor pieces are Paladin, Fighter, and Barbarian as well. So there is that. So those come from Roth Valley. And then the last row we have on 2.0 is Whispering Caverns, which Whispering Caverns doesn't have too much to offer, but it's something. So, cargando, thank you. And then these blue items are just from Whispering Caverns. The Armor of Lolth, I'm not convinced, comes from the Whispering Caverns, but I somehow got one on a character I was running. I presume it's coming from there, but don't quote me on it. It could come from somewhere else, but that's that. So those are all of those. After that, we have the Gontelgram Supplier. Now, this lovely supplier, we go down to Lacrima. So I'm not going to run all the way to the vendor at this point because if you know it, you know it. If you don't, you don't. But the Alliance supplies that you get from Underdark or Maze, it's Maze Engine, I think. Yeah, Maze Engine. You are able to get Alliance supplies when you do the something of the coast or something quest. And normally you get Alliance supplies, but come the new module, because that campaign is being reworked into just an adventure, then those aren't dropping anymore. So these armor packages, if you buy them before the new module, you can actually reclaim them for free as many times as you want. But if you buy them after the new module, they do not become reclaimable. So yeah, buy what you want wisely. There are weapons there. There are cloaks there. Very cool cloaks. There's a whole bunch of stuff. So if you want those, you may want to farm those now because you're not going to be able to after. After that, since we're here anyways, this kind of works perfectly, is Dragonbone weapons. The dragons are going away, as you probably know by now. A lot of people weren't happy about that. So these Dragonbone weapons are pretty unique transmutations, super unique actually. And you're not going to be able to get them anymore. So These are also now very much collector's items. And yeah, if you want them, get them. There's some for every class. I just don't have them all for every class, but it's all good. I got most of them, so I'm proud of that. Anyways, yeah, so those are going away. Then we have Adventure Seals gear. So let's switch over to, which character is it? 2.60? I think it's this one. We'll check this one. But the Adventure Seals gear. So there is blue gear that is all going away. The transmutes aren't particularly anything fancy or special as far as I'm concerned. You can buy it if you want. Some of it is cool. Some of it might be unique. I don't know. Don't quote me on it, but it's there. And I think it's all unbound too, so you may want to look into that. But the main gear that I think most people will want to stock up on with their Adventure Seals is the Drake gear. This came from Adventure Seals. As far as I know, there's no other way to get them now, so these have kind of become unobtainable to people's lack of awareness. This was something I think was easily overlooked and missed, but those were there. The Ranger and the Warlock gear bind to account on pickup. I don't know why. All the other gear is bind on equip instead, but it is what it is. So, yeah, do what you will with that, but yeah, the Adventure Seal gear has been replaced, is being replaced, however you want to talk about it. And yeah, so all of that now unobtainable. Elemental Evil weapons. Those are now also unobtainable. It gives the transmutes when you complete these campaigns. So you can see here, replica earthen weapons. It is in the actual artifact set, but they look like them. So the transmutes are there, the items are not. Do what you will. Artifacts, Undermountain, because let's see. Undermountain and Acquisitions Incorporated, mainly, as well as Underdark, which was then renamed to the Dwarven King. The twisted weapons are being removed, the artifact weapons, but there is a pack, so you could technically buy the pack, unless you, like, if you want to pay like 20 mil for it, that's fine. Same with Elemental Evil, all those artifact weapons are going away. Undermountain and Ravenloft will no longer give the artifact weapon sets that they normally gave when you entered. I forget what the Undermountain one was called, but the Ravenloft was called Vistani. So if you want those, consider that. Acquisitions Incorporated is going away. Well, it's not going away. The store is going away. So the artifact set that came from it will be unobtainable, as far as I know. So that sucks. And as well with the Undermountain adventures, all those coalesced magic currencies that you have stocked up, spend them now. Don't wait, because the whole store is going away and there's no way to spend them. They're becoming obsolete. So yeah, there's that. Otherwise there are Scrying Orb achievements where, yeah, it's not really transmutes, but if you want those, get them. There's a Master Scryer title that you can still get, but after the new module, you won't be able to get that anymore. So do what you will with that. And what else do I have? Do I have anything else I want to mention? I feel like I'm forgetting something. But oh, right, let's go back to 2.0. So, one last thing before I showcase the armor. It's a lot of stuff to go through, my god. You poor console players. I'm sorry for being late, but it took me a long time to get together this list. So, we have here in my lovely mailbox, if you want to screenshot that, please do. Some of this gear, like I said, on the right over here, drops from quests. And you can repeat these quests as many times as you want, as long as you don't hand it in. So as soon as you finish the boss, abandon the quest and have a friend share it back with you. It's the easiest way to do it. A little bit of teamwork, but if you just keep sharing and abandoning between friends, you and your friend can literally farm and hoard transmutes to save and then sell at a later price because some of this just isn't going to be obtainable anymore. As far as I can tell, prices haven't gone up too much in the last month, but as you can see, some of it is still a bit expensive. I don't know how much of it. Some of it, yeah. The problem is, I think I did mention it in a previous video briefly, and it caught people's attention. So you can see the numbers are dwindling down, but a lot of people hoarded a lot of stuff and they can still get a lot of that. So it is what it is. But anyways, yeah, so these are the map names. So what map it's on, the quest names. Note too, some of them, like rogue gear, is usually good for bard. I don't know if it's gonna say bard in it. Some of these are like good for like yeah, so ranger, rogue, and bard. So some of these you can even put on your bard, funny enough. But yeah, so note that some of these, just because it says rogue, you can still use it for other classes as well, some of them cleric included. Fighter is almost always Paladin, Fighter, and Barbarian included. Cleric is usually Wizard, Warlock, and Cleric grouped together, and then Wizard, yeah. So some of these you can do on other classes, and we're going to go through the transmutes in a minute, so you see what comes from what, or what is for what, whatever, however you want to put it. So yeah, feel free to screenshot that, take note. These aren't guaranteed drops. Some of these are like, you know, a 5% chance to get it from the quest boss. You may have to spam it a little bit. Some of these have high drop rates, some of them don't. Take it as you will. But yeah, that's all I had time to collect when mod 20 was still up. Sucks, but what can you do? So anyways, I guess now at this point, that's everything. So let's take a look at the transmutes, I guess. You can end the video here if you want, if you don't really care to see what the transmutes look like, but we're going through them. So yeah, and if you're clicking off, don't forget to subscribe, because this was a lot of work to put together. This was like several weeks worth of time, so yeah. Anyways, let's take a look. So Marauder's Garb, it is for Paladin, Fighter, and Barbarian. The gloves here don't go to a specific class, so you can use them on any class. Same with the feet. You'll notice a lot of these are intended to kind of match up, like a little set, which is pretty cool. And we have the Machete of Grumps, which actually, let's clear these so that we can see it nicely. It's obviously not a dagger, because yeah, this is for only Fighter, but it is pretty cool. And the Foe Biter that actually comes from the quest has the exact same appearance. So if you can't get that, you can get that. In addition, there is the Man Cleaver, which is for rogues. I don't think it's, yeah, it's just rogues. Clear that. And it's just a basic axe, and the Manbane looks exactly the same, and that comes from the quest as well. Then we have the Belt of Many Arrows. Pretty big belt, kind of showy. And the Deep Scars Girdle looks exactly the same, and neither one are class specific, so you can use them on any. And then lastly, we have Grumpsch's Revenge, which is also for Fighter, a lot of Fighter. And this is like a double-sided axe, whatever that's, I don't know what you would call this weapon, but instead of one side, it's both sides. Pretty cool. I wish it was maybe a little bit of a longer handle, but whatever. And that is all from Tower District. Then we have Black Dagger Ruins, Hexbane's Hood. I actually like this because it looks a lot more natural than most hoods do in the game. Not gonna lie, most have clipping errors or they make your character very obviously bald, but this hugs the face in a way that it looks natural. One of the few hoods that do that. That is Warlock, Cleric, and Wizard. The boots are far striding. Doesn't really match the hood, but it's there. Storm Shield, not really unique, but it's a collectible anyways. Then we have Maelstrom's Cloak. If we remove the shield, we can see it better. Matches the hood perfectly. It is a unique transmute, so that's cool. The rings, ignore. Belts we'll take a look at anyways. It's shiny. I don't know. I'm not a big fan of belts, but some people are. Corsair Sash, one of the few belts that I really appreciate and enjoy. And if you can't get the Maelstrom Cloak, the Cloak of the Tempest looks the same, and it's also for anyone. Yeah, no, not class specific. Shield is for fighter. Yeah, okay. Then we have Helm's Hold, so let's clear again. There is another item that has the same appearance. It's class specific. Don't know the name of the item, don't have it, but it is there. If you know, you know. We have these boots, these Hellhound boots. These are Bard, Ranger, and Rogue. Good to know. Obviously, this is Wizard. Pretty shiny, pretty flashy, but I don't think anyone's actually going to see the detail in this unless they look up close. So otherwise, it just looks like a giant yellow blob. The neck piece is actually pretty cool. It looks like a dog, woof woof, who let the dogs out. Woof, 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 woof. I have a ring, another belt, nothing fancy, but it's there. We do have a unique shield. It's the only shield that I know of with this symbol on it, so pretty cool. Don't forget too, you can dye these. You don't have to have an orange shield. And then we have the robes of Asmodius, which let's clear the rest of that so we see this clearly. It's okay. This is for Warlock, Cleric, and Wizard, and the shield is for Fighter, obviously. So there's that. Then we have Velosk, Thunder Howl, Wraps. These are like whatever those werewolf thingies are. I forget the name, but they wear those. Shadow Greaves. I used to love Shadow Greaves early on as a transmute. We have a Fetish of the Pack. It's an icon for Cleric, but it doesn't have an appearance, so whatever. Icons don't. Orshma's Cloak. Ring, 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 ring. And we have Belt of the Ages, which is a pretty big belt. I wouldn't say it's super fancy, but it does have that little logo thingy on it, which is pretty cool. And then my absolute favorite is the Netherese Blade. Look at that beauty. This is a beautiful dagger. Absolutely beautiful. So I love that dagger. Love it, I love it, I love it. I use it on my rogue. And if I remember right, when you put it to transmute, it goes to offhand and main hand. So love it. One of my favorites. Then we have Icefire Peak. We have a Dwarven Helmet. I should note that was Warlock, Cleric, Wizard, Bard, Ranger, Rogue. Rest of this is not class specific. Obviously, the dagger is for Rogue. The icon is for Cleric, not that it has an appearance anyways. And this helmet piece is Warlock, Cleric, and Wizard. The boots are Bard, Ranger, and Rogue. We have the boots there. Obviously, the Fang Dagger is for Rogues. Nice, nice, nice. Not super fancy, but it's there. The Frosty Pelt is actually a weird necklace. It's not even a cloak. It's weird. We have an Elemental Belt, which is just a very plain belt. And in place of also the Boots of Elements, that is Ranger Rogue only, no Bard. We have the Winterkill boots, exact same look, different item. So let's clear that. Next we have Pirate Skyhold. So we have this cool little circlet necklace. I always love it. I think it looks really cool. It's small, but it's cool. That's Warlock, Cleric, and Wizard though. We have Lizardfolk Armor, which is Paladin, Barbarian, and Fighter. Not to be confused with the Marauder's Garb. Okay, the Marauder's Garb looks completely different than the Lizardfolk Armor. People get it confused. Don't be that person. Then we have Lizardfolk Braces, which go on the arms. As you can see, this kind of all goes together. That is for Paladin, Fighter, and Barbarian. Also for Paladin, Fighter, and Barbarian are these weird leg pieces. If you really wanted lizard feet, there you go. You got them. We have a Scale Feathers Dagger. Scale Fathers Dagger, my bad. And yeah, it's a unique blade. It's small. Think what you will. Super, super unique is the Lizardfolk Shield, which is like a turtle shell with a skull and feathers. It's pretty cool, actually. I would use that. We have the Scale Father's symbol, which doesn't look like much at first, but then you go into combat animation. Oh, can I? There we go. And it is actually a turtle shell. So we remove that so that we can actually see it clearer. You can get a better idea of what I mean. So that's what it looks like. Wrong animation because I'm a rogue, but you get the idea. There is a belt. Belt is pretty big. Let's just do that so you can get a better view of it. Then we also have Belt of Skulls, which is pirate. You know, very piratey with the swords crossing behind the skull. Super piratey. And then the Skyhold hides are kind of like a Bard Ranger Rogue version of the Lizardfolk Armor. Same transmute, different item for different classes. Cool. Next we have the Chasm, Nothic Helm. This is pretty cool. This is for Warlock, Wizard, and Cleric. There is also the Eye of Blue Fire, which you can actually get from a quest. That is for the same classes. This is one of my favorites, this whole set here. The Corruptor's Gloves is for, actually these are all Cleric, Warlock, and Wizard. But yeah, so these, they all match up. We have the Shinobi's Boots. We have this Amulet of the Far Realm, which you can't really see because of the headpiece, but if we take that off for a sec, very nice glowy amulet, so that's cool. We have an Accordance Amulet, which again it's just a small amulet, doesn't really go with the rest, but it's there, so yeah. And we have the Belt of the Firestarter, which is this cool blue belt. And Trokar's belt is actually the same transmute, so that comes from a quest if you wanted to try and get it. Well, pre-mod 21. But yeah. And then the most disappointing one is the Orb of Blue Fire. You have all this cool armor, and then you have this plain icon, which if we hide that for a better view for a sec, it has this eyeball, but it doesn't glow at all. I don't know if you dye it, if you can make it glow, kind of like if you add like a blue fire dye, you can make it glow like the rest of it. I don't know, but that's that. Super disappointing. Then we have Mount Hot now that has the Archon Helm, the Hellfire Armor. This is all free. Yeah, those two are free class. The Archon Bracers go with this set, as does the Searing Belt. So this is all like a cool set. Separate are the Paladin, Barbarian, Fighter, Inferno Gauntlets. These go with the Boots of the Firestarter. Not, you know, class specific, which is kind of cool. These match. Not really a full set, but it's pretty cool. We have the Archon's Falchion, whatever. It's for Fighter. Pretty cool, especially when you dye it. It can look really, really awesome. We have the Brimstone Mace, which is for Barbarian. Very, very unique. Actually, one of the most unique items there. We have the Searing Belts. Right, I went over that. Yeah, that is Mount Hot now. Then I already showed the other half of these items from Roth Valley, but for the ones that are unbound, we have the Blade of the Dryder, which part of me is wondering if that comes from Whispering Caverns. I think it comes from Whispering Caverns. I'm almost certain it does. But maybe it doesn't. You know what? I put these in order. I'm going to trust my initial instinct on this one. We have the Belt of Spider Control, the Talisman of the Spider, which is like a little spider necklace. The ring doesn't matter. Then we have Whispering Caverns, which doesn't offer much, but we have a belt. We have a cloak that's kind of ugly. And we have these gloves, which are pretty average. Armor of Lolth, I'm not convinced it comes from here, but I got it somewhere, so I stuck it there. I couldn't find any information on it. Is what it is. And then lastly, we have the Cloak of the Blade Master, which is literally the same as the House Exorleran cloak. Right. That's pretty much it. That has really high item level, actually. Is it just me, or does that have really... It seems stupidly high. Weird. Okay. So, yeah, those are all of that. I don't really think there's other transmutes that are worth going through. I guess we could go through the Rage Drake ones quick, just because you can't really get them anymore or preview them anywhere. So I shall preview them for you. Okay, like that. So let's put on the rogue armor first, and then we'll look at the daggers, or the weapons, whatever. Let's clear out the rest of this, so as not to make anything confusing. So this is the rogue set. Obviously, there's some butt nakedness, because no shirt, no pants. Then if we clear that, and we take a look at the daggers, they look the same. They're pretty okay daggers. Not my cup of tea. Kind of weird, but that's that. Then we have the Warlock set. So let's equip all of that. There's Warlock. That actually looks pretty dope. Yeah, actually, I like that a lot more than the Rogue. I'm not going to lie. And then we have that. The Pact Blade, whatever. So there's that. Not really that fancy. Then we have, let's clear that. We have the Hunter Ranger, which if we equip all of this, this sure looks familiar to players who have been playing for a long time. It actually looks really familiar. Ha! So anyways, there's that. And then if we take a look at the weapons, so you have your daggers here, your bow here, all good. Next we have the Barbarian, that I still call the Great Weapon Fighter, out of habit. Never gonna get over it. It's okay. I don't know. Not my preferred style, but these don't have, yeah. There's your sword. Actually looks kind of similar to the Nightmare sword. Weird. Okay, we're gonna clear that slot. Then we have Cleric, obviously. This is definitely Cleric, isn't it? Yep. Can already tell by the transmutes. So this is some pretty OG. Yeah. This is like the old set of transmutes that everyone thought were cool at the time. Oh, the cool fashion. So yeah, there's that. It's pretty alright. And what does the symbol? Oh yeah, we saw this symbol before, because I went through the weapons. Yeah, okay. Oh wait, did I go through the weapons in this video, or was this one of my failed attempts? I don't know. Okay, anyways, we have Wizard next. So let's check out Wizard. I can't remember what I've done or haven't done, and we can put the orb because the orb floats. That is a giant orb, actually. That's okay, so that is the Control Wizard. And then last but not least, we have the Paladin and Fighter. Paladin and Fighter actually share the same set. So don't be fooled. Don't be put off. And we need that. Big chunky armor, exposed arms that make you look super skinny. But that headpiece though, damn, you look like you're ready to enter the Roman Colosseum or something. Pretty cool. And how does the sword and the shield look like? Shield is kind of big. And the sword, it's okay. But yeah, so that is the Drake armor. Is there anything else to showcase? I don't think there is. Do I have mail? No, okay. So yeah, I think I'm gonna call it on that, because I don't think there's much else to add. So yeah, enjoy. Hopefully this helps. Good luck on your farming. And don't forget to leave a subscription. Don't forget to subscribe is what I mean. Just, yeah. And then you can get more videos too. So yeah, hopefully this helps. Hopefully you can get some good transmutes before Mod 21. You've got how many days left? 5 days left. I'm so late. But yeah, so hopefully this helps. So ciao ciao.